Did you know that total household debt in the US reached a massive $18.203 trillion in the first quarter of 2025? It is quite shocking, right? But what if I told you that a lot of those prized possessions, the things you've worked your tail off for, aren't building your wealth? What if they're silently acting like financial quicksand, keeping you broke? It's a strange thought, right? We're often taught, or we just pick it up along the way, that owning things, a cool car, a big house, the latest phone, is a clear sign of prosperity. We show them off, we treasure them, we work crazy hours to afford them. But this belief, buried deep down, can be a dangerous financial trap. It's like wearing glasses that make everything look valuable, when in reality, some of it is just draining your energy. You might be surprised, maybe even a little shocked, to find out that the line between something that truly helps you grow financially and something that's just a drain is often blurry, misunderstood, or invisible to most people. So many of us are stuck in a loop. Work hard, buy things we hope will make us richer or happier, only to end up feeling stuck, stressed out, and wondering why our bank accounts don't look like we thought they would. The issue isn't always about how much you make. It's more about what you do with that money, and even more specifically, what your possessions are doing to your finances. Think of your income as water flowing into a bucket. The problem isn't always the amount of water, but the holes in the bucket. And this isn't just a personal life thing. These same misunderstandings can sneak into business decisions, leading to wasted money and holding back growth. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this critical difference, the one that separates real lasting wealth from a life of just scraping by. We're going to look at how some things you think are assets are liabilities wearing a clever disguise, and how figuring this out can help you make genuinely smarter money moves. The great deception of possessions. Alright, let's get to the heart of this deception. It starts with not quite getting what makes something truly valuable for your financial health. We're swimming in a sea of messages that tell us owning stuff equals success. But the reality? It's a stark contrast. Think about the classic symbol of making it, the expensive car. The second you drive that baby off the lot, its value tanks like a fancy ice sculpture melting in the sun. And it's not just the purchase price. You've got insurance, gas, maintenance, and repairs. That shiny status symbol in your driveway? For most people, it's a machine that's getting less valuable by the day, basically designed to suck money out of your wallet, month after month. It's not putting money into your pocket, it's constantly taking it out, like a very thirsty pet that only drinks cash. You might own the car, but in a very real financial sense, it owns a piece of your future paychecks. Average auto loan debt in late 2024 was over $24,000, with new car payments averaging $742 a month. That's a big chunk of change going out every month for something that's losing value every single day. Then there's the dream home. Now, owning a home can be a fantastic thing, and for a lot of people, it's the biggest purchase they'll ever make. But even your house isn't automatically an asset that builds wealth. Sure, it has value, but the house you live in is mostly about having a roof over your head, and it comes with a long list of expenses. The mortgage, which is a liability, like a heavy backpack you carry, property taxes, insurance, repairs, maybe some renovations, and all the utilities. If your home is bigger than you need, or it's in an area where property values aren't going anywhere, or if that mortgage payment has you stretched super thin, it can feel less like your castle and more like a financial prison with very comfortable, but costly, walls. Mortgage debt actually makes up 70% of total household debt in the United States. While it can go up in value, it doesn't actively bring in cash unless you're renting out a room. Until then, it's a major ongoing expense. And what about the never-ending parade of new gadgets? The latest smartphone, the smartest watch, the thinnest laptop. We're almost trained to want the next upgrade. But these things are practically designed to become obsolete, like yesterday's newspaper. Their value plummets the minute a new model is even announced, and they rarely make you any money. Instead, they just keep us in a cycle of spending, always wanting the next new thing, making sure cash keeps flowing out for items that give us a quick thrill but very little, if any, financial return. It's like running on a treadmill made of credit card bills. This kind of thinking can sink businesses too. Picture a startup splurging on a fancy office space before they even have steady income, like buying a giant fishing net before you've even found the lake. Or buying pricey, specialized equipment that just gathers dust most of the time. On paper, these might look like business assets, but if they aren't directly helping to bring in more money than they cost, they become like anchors, dragging the business down with pointless overhead. The key here isn't just owning stuff. It's whether that stuff produces an economic benefit, like a tree bearing fruit, or just drains your resources. The real kicker, the agitation, comes when you realize that these possessions, often bought with debt and needing constant money to maintain, aren't just sitting there. They're actively eating up your most valuable resources, your future income and your time. You end up working more hours just to pay for and maintain things that, in many cases, are making you poorer, not richer. It's a sneaky deception, but its effect on your financial freedom can be massive. The hidden costs and the broke reality, the obvious costs of these deceptive possessions are just the tip of the iceberg. Underneath, there are a whole bunch of hidden costs quietly draining your wealth, making you feel like you're always broke, no matter how hard you work. Think about interest payments. When you finance a car, or that fancy home entertainment system, or even that dream vacation you swiped your credit card for, you're not just paying the price on the tag. You're paying extra for the privilege of having it right now. It's like paying a fee to a gatekeeper who lets you have things sooner, but that fee adds up. Credit card debt, for example, usually comes with sky-high interest rates. As of the first quarter of 2025, Americans were collectively on the hook for $1.182 trillion in credit card debt. That interest is just money vanishing into thin air. It gives you nothing real in return, it's purely the cost of borrowing. It's like a constant leak in your financial bucket. Then you've got the ongoing maintenance and upkeep costs that we tend to brush aside or forget about. That beautiful boat? It needs docking fees, insurance, fuel, winterization, and regular fixes. It's not just a boat, it's a hungry sea monster with a taste for your bank account. That top-of-the-line home gym equipment? It might need a subscription to even work properly, or eventually, it'll break down. Even smaller things add up: subscriptions for software you hardly touch, memberships for clubs you never go to, extended warranties you'll probably never use. Each one feels like a tiny, insignificant drain, like a mosquito bite, but put them all together, and they create this powerful current pulling your finances underwater. But maybe the biggest hidden cost of all is opportunity cost. Every single dollar you spend keeping up a depreciating item or a possession that doesn't make you money is a dollar you can't put into something that could grow your wealth. It's like choosing to plant a plastic flower instead of a seed that could grow into a fruit tree. That $700 monthly car payment? If you invested that consistently over several years, it could grow into a serious pile of money. The thousands you dropped on a luxury item that's now worth way less? That could have been the starting cash for a side business or an investment portfolio. This is where the surprise really smacks you in the face. The things you show off with pride, the symbols of your hard-earned success, could be the very anchors weighing you down, the exact reason you feel like you're just treading water financially. You're working harder and harder, but your net worth isn't budging because your money is being siphoned off to feed these financial black holes. The broke reality for so many people isn't about a lack of income. It's about having too many of these financial burdens that are cleverly disguised as cool possessions. It's that knot in your stomach knowing that a big chunk of your paycheck is already gone before it even hits your account, all earmarked for debts on things that aren't building your future. It's feeling like you're stuck on a treadmill, running faster just to stay in the same spot, surrounded by nice things but missing any real financial peace or freedom. This cycle just keeps going until you make a conscious choice to break it, and that starts with really getting the fundamental difference between what builds you up financially and what tears you down. The defining line: assets versus liabilities. So, how do we break this cycle? It all begins with understanding a super basic idea in finance, one that's surprisingly fuzzy for a lot of folks: the difference between an asset and a liability. And trust me, this isn't just boring accounting talk. It's the absolute bedrock of building wealth. It's like learning the difference between food that nourishes you and junk food that just gives you a sugar rush. Put simply, an asset is something that puts money into your pocket. Assets are valuable things you own or control that are expected to give you some future financial benefit. They either make you money, go up in value over time, or you can easily turn them into cash. Think of assets like your financial employees, little money-making elves that are out there working for you, tirelessly adding to your treasure chest, helping to grow your wealth. On the flip side, a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Liabilities are financial obligations or debts you owe to someone else. They're claims against your assets and mean you have to pay out money or provide services down the road. Liabilities are your financial drains. They're like little gremlins constantly sneaking coins out of your wallet. The connection between assets and liabilities is wrapped up neatly in the basic accounting equation. Assets equals liabilities plus equity. Now, in personal finance, equity is your net worth. It's what you own after all your debts are paid off. Think of it like a financial seesaw. On one side are your assets, on the other are your liabilities plus your net worth. If you want to build wealth, your aim is pretty straightforward. Pile more onto the assets side and shrink the liabilities side, so your net worth, the part that's truly yours, grows bigger. Okay, here's where things often get muddled, especially with our stuff. A lot of people think that anything they own is an asset. Your car? You own it. Your house? You own it. That expensive collection of whatever? You own it. But just owning something doesn't automatically make it an asset in the wealth building game. What really matters is its job in your financial life. Is it a workhorse, or just a show pony? Let's go back to the car. If you own your car free and clear and just use it to get around, it's useful, sure, but you're generally losing value and costing yourself money for gas, insurance, and upkeep. So, for most of us, it acts more like a liability, or at best, something for personal use that eats into wealth instead of creating it. It's like a tool that's handy but gets rustier and less valuable over time. But, if you used that same car as a taxi driver or for a delivery business, and it consistently brought in more cash than it cost you to run and maintain, then it would be working as an asset. It becomes a money-making machine. Same idea with the house you live in. It gives you shelter, which is essential. But like we talked about, it also comes with big ongoing bills like mortgage payments. The mortgage itself is a clear liability, taxes, and maintenance. It doesn't usually put cash in your pocket each month. It's more like a comfortable, but very hungry, pet. Now, if you owned a second house that you rented out to tenants, and the rent you collected covered all the expenses, mortgage, taxes, insurance, upkeep, and then some, that property would be a clear-cut asset, bringing in positive cash flow. Like having a tenant who not only pays for the house's keep but also gives you extra spending money. It's not always about the item itself, but more about how it affects your cash flow and your net worth. So, what it boils down to is this. Does it mainly make you money or go up in value significantly, or does it mainly eat up your income and go down in value? Is it a financial friend or a financial freeloader? Getting this distinction clear is the first, and honestly, the most vital step towards making your possessions work for you, not against you. This is the solve. This is the core knowledge that lets you see your financial world with fresh eyes. Now, let's talk about real assets that build wealth. Once you can tell an asset from a liability, the next move is to start focusing on getting your hands on true assets. The kind that roll up their sleeves and build your wealth. These are the possessions and investments that don't just sit around looking nice. They grow, they make money, they compound, like a tiny snowball rolling downhill, getting bigger and bigger. Let's talk about some powerful examples of these wealth-building assets. One of the easiest for many people to get into is investing in the financial markets. This could mean buying stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or exchange-traded funds, ETFs. When you buy shares in a profitable company, you own a tiny piece of that business, like owning a single tree in a vast, fruit-producing orchard. As the company does well and grows, the value of your shares can go up, and some companies even share a slice of their profits with shareholders through dividends. This gives you the chance for your money to grow in a stream of passive income. Investing in diversified index funds, for instance, lets you own a small bit of many companies, which spreads out your risk while letting you benefit from the overall growth of the market in the long run. Another classic wealth builder is income-generating real estate. We touched on this a bit. This isn't the house you live in, it's properties you own specifically to rent out. A well-chosen rental property can bring in a steady flow of monthly cash after you've paid all the bills, mortgage, property taxes, insurance, maintenance, property management fees. It's like owning a goose that lays golden eggs every month. On top of that, as time goes on, the property might become more valuable, and your mortgage balance goes down, building up your equity. This mix of cash flow and appreciation can really speed up your wealth building. Then there's the asset of building a profitable business. This could be a side hustle that takes off and becomes your main gig, or a company you start from the ground up. A successful business that brings in more money than it costs to run is a serious asset. It's like planting a seed that grows into a mighty tree, providing shade, income, and more seeds, value. It can provide you with an income, and as the business itself becomes more valuable, it becomes something you could sell. The trick here, as we said, is to make sure the business is all about profit and getting assets that help make that profit, not just piling up flashy business stuff that just drains cash. And don't forget about intellectual property and valuable skills. If you create something unique, maybe you write a book, compose music, develop software, or create a popular online course, the royalties or sales from that creation can turn into a really nice stream of passive income, like a well that you dug once but keeps providing water. In the same way, investing in your education and skills can turn you into a more valuable asset, boosting your earning power throughout your career. A skill that's in high demand and pays well? That's an asset, like having a special key that unlocks higher paying doors. What all these true assets share is their ability to either make you more money, cash flow, or to grow in value over time, appreciation, or ideally, both. They are the engines of wealth creation. Shifting your financial focus from just collecting liabilities to strategically picking up these kinds of assets is the main strategy for going from being kept broke by your stuff to becoming truly rich. It's all about making your money work hard for you, instead of you constantly working your tail off just to pay for things that are costing you. Empowerment: shifting your mindset and making smarter choices. Understanding the difference between assets and liabilities is like having the key, but real financial empowerment kicks in when you actually use that knowledge, when you actively shift your mindset and start making consistently smarter choices about your stuff and your money. This is where the theory stops and real life begins. It's like knowing how to drive a car versus actually getting behind the wheel and going somewhere. The first step is to take a good, hard look at your current possessions. Be brutally honest. For each major thing you own, ask yourself, is this really an asset that's putting money in my pocket or reliably going up in value? Or is it a liability, costing me money every month, and losing value? Seriously, be honest. That jet ski, the collection of designer handbags, the third car, are they tools for building wealth, or are they just lifestyle choices that are actually eating away at your wealth, like fancy decorations on a sinking ship? This isn't about beating yourself up over past decisions, it's about getting clear for the future. Once you've got a clearer picture, you can start making more thoughtful decisions before you buy anything new. Before you pull the trigger on anything, especially big-ticket items or things that mean ongoing payments, imagine you're putting on special, financial X-ray glasses. Ask yourself these critical questions. Realistically, will this thing make me money, or will it mostly cost me money over its lifetime? Is this something I need, or is it a want? If it's a want, can I genuinely afford it without messing up my chances to get actual assets? What's the opportunity cost here? What else could I do with this money that would get me closer to my financial goals, like planting a money seed instead? This habit of questioning things helps you break free from impulsive buying and move towards buying with intention. It trains your brain to automatically see things through that assets versus liabilities filter. The main principle to live by is, buy assets, not liabilities. This simple phrase, something you hear from lots of financial experts, should be your financial compass. It's like choosing to build a strong financial house brick by brick, assets, instead of collecting pretty baubles, liabilities. When you have some extra cash, your first thought shouldn't be, what cool thing can I buy? It should be, how can I use this money to get an asset that will make me more money or grow in value? This could mean investing in stocks, saving for a down payment on a rental property, funding your business idea, or even just paying down high-interest debt. Because getting rid of a high-interest liability is like giving yourself an instant, guaranteed raise. Now, it's important to remember this isn't about making yourself miserable and never having any fun. It's all about balance and priorities. You can still enjoy nice things, but do it consciously, after you've made it a priority to get income-producing assets. Wealthy people often get wealthy precisely because they focus on buying assets first. They build the factory that produces income before they go on a shopping spree for the factory's products. Start with small, doable steps. You don't have to flip your entire life upside down overnight. Maybe start by just tracking your spending for a month to see where your money is going. You might be surprised. Pinpoint 1 or 2, liability. Expenses you can cut back on, like a subscription you don't use, and then redirect that money towards an investment or paying off a high-interest debt. It's like patching a leak in your boat and using the saved water to fill your canteen. Commit to learn more about investing or a specific type of asset that sparks your interest. Knowledge itself is an asset, like adding a new, powerful tool to your financial toolkit. This shift in mindset is the most powerful tool you've got. It's about going from being a passive consumer, easily swayed by ads and what everyone else is doing, to becoming an active, strategic builder of your wealth. It's about realizing that your possessions should be working for your financial goals, not wrecking them. This understanding, combined with disciplined action, is what ultimately leads to financial freedom and that amazing peace of mind that comes from knowing your money is working for you, building a richer future. If what we've talked about today has hit home, if you're feeling that little light bulb go off that maybe your possessions are holding you back, then it's time to take the next step. If you're ready to truly take control of your financial future and learn more ways to build real wealth, make sure you subscribe to this channel and ding that notification bell so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos. We're all about giving you the knowledge to make smarter money decisions. What's one thing you own that, after hearing all this, you're now looking at a little differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Sometimes just saying it out loud is the first step to making a change. Plus, your experience might even help someone else in our community. And finally, if you know someone, friend, a family member, a colleague who's working incredibly hard but still seems stuck in a financial rut, please share this video with them. This understanding of assets versus liabilities is just too important to keep to yourself. It could be the eye-opener they need. So, are your possessions making you rich or keeping you broke? The answer, as we've explored, isn't really in the things themselves, but in how well you understand their true financial job and the choices you make because of that understanding. It's so easy to get caught up in the illusion that owning more stuff means you have more wealth. But real financial well-being isn't measured by how shiny your car is or how big your house is. It's measured by how strong your asset column is, like the sturdy trunk of a mighty oak, and the freedom that gives you. The things that truly make you rich are the things that work for you, that grow your net worth, that bring in income, and ultimately, that buy you time and options in life. The journey from being unknowingly weighed down by liabilities, those sneaky financial anchors, to consciously building a portfolio of assets, your fleet of wealth-building ships, is a game changer. It takes a shift in how you see things, a commitment to learning about money, and the discipline to choose long-term wealth over quick thrills. But the payoff, true financial freedom, less stress, and the ability to live life more on your terms, is priceless. Don't let your possessions call the shots on your financial destiny. Instead, you take control. Look at what you own, question every new purchase, and be relentless about getting assets that build you up, not